Welcome to ALTTPR 101, your first seed. In this guide, I'm assuming that you followed the setup instructions in my ALTTPR 100 video, so if you haven't already, go ahead and give that one a look. TLDR version, I'm assuming that you're using the beginner preset with swords set to assured, and that you're using Firebase for tracking. If you prefer something like Emo Tracker, you may have to make some slight adjustments, but hey, you do you. Finally, here you are, playing through your first randomized seed. You know the drill, grab that chest. Now, see that green square next to Link's house on your tracker's map? That represents the chest you just opened. Click it to mark that you've opened the chest. As you proceed through the game, make sure to mark checks that you've already made so you don't waste time rechecking them, and mark items that you find on the item tracker. As you do, you'll notice some of the red squares on the map, which mark areas you can't access yet, will turn green. Yellow squares refer to item locations that you can see but not access yet, or dungeons that you can enter but not full clear. Dark green squares refer to locations that are accessible through minor glitches or sequence breaks. You'll never be required to use a glitch or a sequence break to complete a seed. But if you think you can get to a dark green location using a trick you've picked up while speedrunning the vanilla game or saw a streamer using, go for it. For the purposes of this guide, we'll assume that you're not doing that. Now, in the beginner preset, you start with the fighter sword. Start using it because you're going to want to try to collect at least one bomb before you finish the Hyrule Castle escape sequence, and there's a chance that an enemy will drop one when killed. There's a pattern to enemy drops, which is a little complicated and not really worth getting into here. For now, it's enough to say that green guards and snakes have a slightly higher chance of dropping bombs than other enemies, and while it's not worth going too far out of your way to try to farm them, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and murder the ones that happen to be right along your path. I may make a future video about enemy drops in Randomizer, but that's an advanced topic. Go through the escape sequence as normal, marking any important items you collect on your tracker. When you get to the sewer section, notice that you get a light cone that lets you see where you're going, even if you haven't collected the lamp yet. This is a quality of life feature to keep you from having to complete the sewers in the dark, but don't get used to it. From here on, dark rooms like the backside of Eastern Palace or most of Aghanim's Tower will be completely dark until you get the lamp. If you know the room's layout well enough, you can navigate them by memory and using the sparkle from Link's sword to help you, but you will never be required to do so to complete the seed. If you come across a dark room that you think you can handle, feel free to give it a shot, but don't be afraid to turn back. The lamp will never be locked behind a dark room in the beginner preset. Now remember how I told you that you'd want a bomb? This final room of the sewers is why. There are 3 chests behind this bombable wall, and it saves a lot of time if you can collect them now. If you get unlucky and get this far without a bomb, don't worry, you'll be able to come back later. But make sure to leave this spot unchecked on your tracker so you don't forget. It's best to wait to come back until you have the gloves so you can go through this shortcut, although as a last resort, you can go all the way back through the sewers. Now you're out in the world and you can go anywhere you want. What I'm about to show you is a pretty standard opening that will get you to a couple of easy to reach spots with a high density of checks quickly and efficiently. That's not to say you couldn't take a different route if you had a good reason, but like your English teacher used to tell you, it's good to learn what the rules are so you know when and how to break them. Now, if you happen to have lucked out and gotten early boots, smash into this rock pile, called Bonk Rocks, for 1 check. Otherwise, head north. Yank on this tree to get 4 of a random item pickup. You can try for a different drop by killing an enemy, going through a screen transition, and pulling again. There are more rules governing what comes out when you pull on your wood, but for our purposes, that's enough. On the next screen, pull up this bush and see what the critter inside gives you. This drop will stay the same throughout the game wherever you see these little bush crabs, and there's another one coming up soon if it happens to be something good. For now, poke your head into this little cave and see what's on the ledge. You can't get it yet, but it's important to know whether it's something good, because the only way you can get it is to climb to the top of Hyrule Castle and defeat Aghanim, which you usually won't have to do otherwise. Feel free to mark the location as collected on your tracker if it's something you know you won't need, like a red rupee or a heart piece. File that information away for later and head into the Lost Woods. There's another bush crab here and another tree pole, and 2 items to find. Now head into Kakariko Village, where you'll want to take stock of your bombs and rupees. You're going to need at least 3 bombs to full clear the village area. You're also hoping to have at least 100 rupees so you can buy whatever this guy is selling. If you're just a little bit short of rupees, you can farm 30 of them at a time behind this bombable wall. If you need bombs, you can buy 10 of them in this shop for 50 rupees. If you have just 1 bomb, but can't afford to buy more, you can blow open this building, which you can exit and re-enter to farm as many as you need. A few other points of interest in town. If you happen to have gotten the flute, make sure to let the duck out of the weather vane. If you've gotten a bottle, pop into this house and show it to the sick kid for an item. And if you've gotten both the hammer and the magic powder, you can drop into this hole and make an offering at the altar of Lord Satan to receive an item. When you're all done, exit town to the south, but try to have at least 3 bombs on you when you do. Pop your head into the library and see what's on the bookshelf. You'll need the boots to collect whatever it is, so if you don't have them and it's something important, make a note to come back later. If you want, you can go all the way southwest and check what's in this spot before you collect it. Personally, I like to just grab it straight away unless I'm short on bombs, because you do need one to get there. Your next destination is the dam. If you happen to have the shovel, it's best to walk there so you can check this dig spot on the way. By the way, 2 of these bushes have a 50-50 shot each of dropping a bomb, so it's a good place to farm them if necessary. You can reset that 50-50 chance by going off-screen and back on again. If you have the flute, you can fly straight to the dam. Otherwise, save and quit and restart at Link's house, which will save you some time over walking. If you have the gloves, the center stone out of these 3 also has a 50-50 shot of dropping a bomb. Grab these 2 items at the dam, then head east, bomb this wall, and kill the moldorms inside for 5 more items. Now, head to the Vanilla Ice Rod Cave for 1 more item check. This is the point where routing typically starts to diverge the most. In our next video, we'll take a more general look at the rest of your route, where you might decide to go next and why. Until then, may your seeds be fruitful, and praise RNGesus.